Garrett Williams. Welcome to the show.
So I appreciate y'all having me.
Oh, for sure, man. We're happy you're here. And we'll get to that pick six in a little bit. But first, you suffered a torn ACL injury last year. And afterwards, you tweeted, "The story is far from over. This will be legendary." Tell us about your recovery from that injury, and what do you envision a legendary future to look like for Garrett Williams?
Yeah, so I'm about 4 months out from surgery, and I've been in a really good place. Jogging, running, things of that sort. All my coaches and trainers are really happy about where I'm at, and then I just know how I am. I know I'm gonna keep working until I'm not just where I was before, but better than before. So how I see it is when I come back, nothing's gonna stop, nothing's gonna drop off. I'm gonna pick up right before I left off and take over the league like I plan on doing.
Hell yes, take over the league. Tell us about that. That's the goal. Take over this thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like when I come into the league, I can be a really big impact player, and it just comes down to when I get fully healthy and I can fully show my skill set. Because right now I feel like people kind of forget about you a little bit when you get injured throughout this process. So when I come back, I got some time to make up.
I hear it, Garrett, and you're a great player, and you're a great quote. And let me give you an example of that. So setting the stage here, a few months ago, Trevor Lawrence was facing off against Patrick Mahomes in an NFL playoff game. Go back a little further than that. You became the first and only player to have a pick six off Trevor Lawrence in his entire celebrated, decorated college career. We got right here, and you're grabbing this thing, and you're going to put it in the house on his field. You later described it as a, quote, out-of-body experience. Tell us about the play and tell us why you chose that quote to describe it.
Yeah, so it was my first interception in my whole college career. And so going into this game with Clemson, I knew if I wanted to be able to get to the NFL and be on people's radar, I had to play my best games in the biggest games. So playing on a national TV game against Clemson, who was #1 in the country at the time, when he threw the pass and it tipped off in Mario Rodgers' hands, it was crazy because everything went silent. Like all I could hear is myself breathing. And so when I'm cutting through the field, everything's moving kind of like in slow motion. And right when I was about to cross the goal line, it was crazy. All the noise came back in, and then when I looked up, I see my parents right in the stands where I'm pointing at in the video. I see my parents and my sister jumping up and down, vividly. So remembering all that it was crazy. It's something I'll never forget.
Well, Garrett, to have done that at Clemson, it must have been, the reason why you didn't hear anything, it must have been silent. You could hear a pin drop if Trevor Lawrence is going to throw a pick six on his, that's an incredible awareness for you to have the cutback, too. I think that's awesome. Speaking of your time in your football career, you wore jersey number 14 for 2 seasons, 2 years ago. Then you switched to number 8. You're a corner, but you have an awareness for a quarterback having an influence on that decision to go with number 8. What was the inspiration there? Yeah,
so going into high school, my freshman and sophomore year, I was on JV and I wore number 3. But when I was on my sophomore year, when I dressed for varsity, my coach, Coach Seidel, he gave me the opportunity to wear number 8. And at our school, for some reason, we'd never had that jersey before, so I was the first person to wear it. And at that time, that was when Lamar Jackson was doing his thing at Louisville. So obviously, I'm looking up to him because that quarterback, I see myself being dynamic, being able to run, being able to throw. So I immediately jumped on the opportunity to grab number 8. So then when I transitioned to corner, it just kind of stuck as well because I didn't want to let go of that path. And then when I got to college and I got 14 at Syracuse, Coach Babers kind of has a role. You have to kind of earn your single digit. So for me, I kind of saw it as like a personal challenge for myself. Where it was like, okay, if I want to be able to wear number 8 again, I got to earn it and I got to go get it. So then after 2 years of hard work, I was able to get it. So number 8's always going to have a special place in my heart for sure.
Well, pick 6 against one of the best college quarterbacks to ever play to turn into an NFL quarterback. That'll solidify your right to wear number 8. So speaking of Lamar Jackson, you're a fan. You've been watching his style of play from Louisville to Baltimore. He's up in the air right now. What do you think about the situation with this quarterback that everybody knows and loves to watch play? And who do you think he will end up playing for in 2023?
I'm not really sure where he'll end up. I just know wherever he goes, he better get paid all the money he's owed and he deserves. I feel like he's a one-of-a-kind type of player. And I think it says a lot where how the other guys in the league speak so highly of him. And that the challenges he faces on a week-to-week basis. So wherever he goes, I hope he's able to get everything he's asking for.
Hey, I hear you talking about that, him making whatever, money he's going to make. But I want to get a little bit off the field. I read that you're a dual major in marketing management and retail management. Take us in a day. What's a typical day in the life of Garrett Williams during the football season, with you having so much on your plate?
Yeah, it takes a lot of planning and a lot of like discipline. So for me, we practice in the morning. So we wake up like 6 in the morning. We practice around 8. We finish like around 11. So then from like 11 to like 4, I'm at class, and so I eat, and I'll probably take like 30 minutes to chill. And then those next 3 hours, it's all schoolwork. So I'm on the computer doing papers, assignments, group work, those types of things. And so I had to write everything down in my journal throughout the day so I don't forget things as I go. So once I finish all that, then I dedicate the next amount of time to football. And the reason I put like the football last is because I don't want to really put like a time limit on how much I need to watch or study. Because if I feel like I need to, get a little bit more information for that specific day, then I want to be able to stick around a little longer. But even with that, I kind of learned to put a time limit on that because I believe you can overstudy and try to take in too much information at one time. So usually it was like a 3-hour cap on that. And then after that, put all my stuff down, stretch, meditate, read, and then I go to bed and then just do it again the next day.
All right, Garrett, when you're doing all that studying and you're watching that film, you like Lamar Jackson, you're playing quarterback. Who's the cornerback in the NFL that you watch? And not to say you model your game after, but just a guy that you enjoy watching.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching Jair Alexander. Having a similar build, being from the same area, having some ties as well. Seeing him be his size, make the plays that he makes, playing as being super dynamic, being a leader, and then also being somebody who's just super confident on the field, regardless of who he's guarding. It's definitely somebody that I love to watch and love to model my game after.
Garrett, let me ask you, it's been really fun to watch these young guys in the secondary come into the league and show some personality. We saw the Jets, Sauce Gardner put the cheese hat on, and Lambeau. Jair Alexander is a really fun, electric player to watch in the secondary. You come to the league, do you think about stuff like that? Do you see that there is a way to make a name for yourself, not only on the field with the play, but also from a business perspective? Are you trying to execute from that perspective and your personality?
Yeah, so with me, I'm naturally a laid-back person, but I guess it comes with having like that business and marketing background where you're always trying to think of the next step ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you going to kind of be able to build your brand, build your name, and things like that outside of football? But for me, the biggest thing, I'm going to just stay true to myself. I'm not going to try to go into the league and try to be something I'm not. I'm just going to be me, and I feel like people gravitate towards me naturally as it is. So just going to stick to the script.
I love it. You got the charisma. Well, now here's your chance to build your brand and sell yourself. 32 teams, they're all watching this morning. They're watching you right now, Garrett Williams. I want you to tell a GM, ownership, a coach, why they should draft you in the 2023 NFL Draft.
Yeah, just from an off-the-field standpoint, I feel like you draft somebody who's going to be a future team captain of your team. And then from an on-the-field standpoint, you getting somebody who's scheme versatile and is dynamic in the run game and the passing game. I don't think there's a lot of people who have plays of them attacking the ball in the air the same way as they attack the ball on the ground in the run game. So for me, I just feel like I'm somebody who can immediately step into a defense and make a team and a defense better from on-the-field perspective and an off-the-field perspective.
I love that. Scheme versatility and a captain of your team. All 32 teams should want to talk to you. Hey, appreciate you stopping by this morning.
Appreciate you,
Yes,
brother.
sir. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.